than you've ever experienced it before. So he began to speak to them about how they should conduct themselves when they are gathered together to eat communion, because they abused what God had given because they didn't understand the book. Can we go forward? Because I don't want to stay beyond my time today. But the more I ponder on these things, there's just so much to unearth out of these scriptures. And I'm sure Pastor Gabe is saying, well, Pastor, when you taught this, you didn't say all of this in Abuja. I picked it from your heart. Because I know what you're saying. I just know. So do you want to the Louvre? Let's to John chapter 6. Louvre. Now, I need to lay these also as a foundation, because it would also form what I call a prayer pivot for us. Why is he saying, or why did he, or scripture say they didn't understand the loaves, and we're having to go back to look at it? There are things that are interconnected in life, need to understand. The terminology interconnectivity is probably a tech terminology. But events upon the face of the earth are connected to one another. Meaning nothing just happens. I really wonder whether we'll finish this today. How many of you voted in the last election? It's not to find out who voted and who didn't. If you voted, that's fine. If you didn't, you have an opportunity to vote. How many of you were happy after the results of the election? You were happy. Let's see your hand up. Because you could have in any church, you people, PDP people, Labour people. We must respect your own opinion. Jeff, you were happy? No, you were not. I don't know what Sunday service was like here last week Sunday, whether it was a wonderful time of worship. I think I slept at 11 p.m. that night, woke up very early, very refreshed, unperturbed, not stressed at all. I was at ease, and I went to church and tried to encourage all those whose souls were downcast. Somebody will say, why wasn't your soul downcast? So I'll explain to you. It's called understanding. On the 8th of January, you'll be shocked to hear this because I wrote it down. On the 8th of January, I had a dream. And in that dream, I was transported to Kaduna. And I was in the house where I grew up, in my sister's room. And a member of the church in Abuja by the name Enesi Makoju came to me and he said, Pastor, there are these two books that you must read, but you must read this one before you read this. I was lying on the bed. I turned to the side, bedside table, and I picked up two books as well. And I turned to him in that dream and I said, there are these two books you must read also. You must read this before you read this. And suddenly the wall of that room collapsed. And I saw a storm that was coming. Strong storm. It was so